All right, hey everybody, it's Chris with the Meeples Market. I'm trying to do something new here. We're gonna see how it goes. I'm doing the top 10 games on Kickstarter that I backed, and I regret backing, or I wish I didn't back, or however you want to put it. It doesn't mean I didn't like the game. It's just that after getting the Kickstarter, I now wish I hadn't. So let's go ahead and get into it. The first one on the list is gonna be. Let me get this out of the way. Meyer Marsh, the board game. Yeah. So this is what happened with Meyer Marsh. This is right when I first got into Kickstarter. I've been playing board games for like a year. And then I found out about Kickstarter. I think I read about a post on the board game subreddit. You know, if you're familiar with it, they send out a thing every Sunday. They have a post about like all the ongoing Kickstarters, all the upcoming Kickstarters. And I had seen someone mention Meyer Marsh, so I checked it out, and I was sold. These goblin things in Meyer Marsh, they look amazing. I love the design here. These little creatures running around this swamp thing. I mean, look, their names are like Poker, Catcher, Mixer, Gulper, Tanker. They all have different, like, everything about it. I loved it. I was like, yes, I need this. Boom, all in pledge right away. And then like 2 weeks into it, I was looking more into the game, and I was like, I just don't know if I'm going to enjoy this or not. I love like the aesthetic of the game, but the game itself, I don't know. So I canceled my pledge. Done. Didn't need it. I'm good. And I wish I had stopped there, but no. The campaign ended. And then whatever, months go by, and I'm like, oh, hey, look, late pledge is open for this. I need it. I have to have these minis. So, boom, I late pledge it. If I remember correctly, it was fairly late on delivery. And then when I got the game, I really just didn't like it. I don't even know how to explain it. I think I was just so sold on the idea of being these little goblin dudes and running around the swamp and doing quests that I completely just ignored the actual gameplay and what they were saying the game was about. And I mostly play games at 2 players, and personally I don't think that Meyer Marsh is a very good 2-player game. So there you have it. I got the game. I think I played it maybe 3 times, and after that 3rd play I was just like, I really don't ever want to play this again. I just don't want this. I don't like it. I did keep I sold the game off, but I kept one of the add-ons. They have these little dwarf guys. I eventually want to paint those because I think those models are phenomenal. And I'm a big fan of dwarves or anything like gnomes, whatever. All that stuff, love it. So that's Meyer Marsh. My first regret. Next one on the list we've got is Altar Quest by Blacklist Games. I'm going to do a few back-to-back here, and I'm just going to spoil it now. Apparently I'm not a fan of Blacklist games. Alright? I love the idea of their games. Like, you show me a Blacklist campaign, and I'm like, oh, this is it. This is what I want. This is what I need. I love this. This is the game I've been waiting for. Every time they come out with a campaign, that's what I tell myself. I look through it, and I mean, their campaigns just feel like they have so much value. It's like a command campaign, but better, I guess. I mean, Command throws a bunch of minis at you for a good price. I think Blacklist does the same thing, and generally speaking, I think the Blacklist add-ons might be a little bit better developed than Command games, but besides the point. Boom, I back this. I'm all in. This is sweet. Why is it sweet? The frogs. There's a group of enemies that are little frog people. Boom, I'm sold. Same thing. If your campaign has small humanoid animal creature things, I'm in. That's it. I don't even care what the game is. I'm like, oh, animal guys, done. I need that. So, boom, I backed it. You get a bunch of minis. bunch of stuff. Got the neoprene playmats. Freaking Isaac from Gloomhaven was developing an expansion. I was like, I need this, man. And they have so many unlocks. Like, their campaigns get so, like, it's just so exciting. There's so much hype involved, and you're unlocking stretch goals. In the comments, everyone's like, yeah, and they do like the live stream for like the last hour or whatever, and people are just, it's fun. And then the game delivers, and I just don't like it. And I'm gonna kind of cheat on the list because there's 2 other games on this list that are also blacklist games. So I'm gonna just show them, and then I dislike them all kind of for the same reason. So we have Alter Quest, I have Street Masters, and I've got Brook City. Those are the 3 blacklist games that I've backed. Those are the 3 blacklist games that I regret getting. All for the same, almost all for the same reason. Alter Quest was obviously the last one that I backed. I don't know. I just didn't care. The issue that I had with their other games is the same issue I had here. I don't know what the term would be really, but for me, if you say like what's a blacklist game, a blacklist game is a game where you have 90 decks of cards, which I get it. That's where like the modularity comes through. And then what you're going to be doing is placing these cards out in different areas on the table, and then like throwing tokens on all of the cards. So we're going to add 2 tokens to this card, 3 to this one. When this card has 6 tokens, then we're going to flip it, and then we're adding these tokens to this card. And it's like the whole game, for me, devolves into like, let's put a bunch of tokens on a bunch of different cards. I just don't like it. I don't think they're bad games. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I don't think these are bad games whatsoever. They're definitely just not games that are for me. So Alter Quest was like, it was the same of everything else that I played from them. I just didn't like it. I wasn't a big fan. Street Masters, probably the one I like the most out of them, but the same thing. There's a lot of the modularity, but it's just like, I don't want to set these. I don't want to set this up. I don't want to look at what all the tokens mean, and each mission the tokens mean different things. And again, you're stacking tokens on the cards. I don't know. I just couldn't get behind it. And save for the last mini expansion or set of unlocks and Aftershock, where they had like, it was like the Ninja Turtles, but they were just like ninja lizards. There wasn't any animal people, you know. And like I said, I'm really sold when it comes to animal people. So that's Street Masters. Again, I think it's a cool game. It's just not a game for me. Last is Brook City, and unfortunately, I don't think Brook City is a good game. I think it's a very boring game. I think it's super tedious. When I was playing it, when I was reading on the forums, it seemed like I guess it's a planned mechanic, because I don't know. You drive your car out in the city. To me, it felt like 90% of the game was just figuring out how to move around the frickin' city. Or just moving and moving and moving and moving. And then you get all the way to the corner of the map, you do this mission, and then like a thing pops up back over the other side of the map. And so you have to like ditch the car or abandon the car or whatever. So the car goes away, and then you like teleport back to the precinct, and that's back on the other side of the map. And then so you deal with what's over there, and then you're going to drive the car back out again, do what's far away, and then you bail on it, so you teleport back. And the whole game to me just felt like, it's the reason why I'm iffy about Pandemic. Obviously, I know Pandemic's a good game. It's successful. It's a co-op game. It's sweet. I'm not a big fan of games where it's like, let's put out the fires. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, games where it just seems like you're just waiting for the bad stuff to happen, and then the game is trying to best manage the bad stuff. Or like, it just feels like you're always like behind the 8 ball. You're just chasing whatever the game does. Like, the game did this, I need to react to this. The game did this, I need to react to this. And there's not a lot of like agency that I can do before the game does the thing that I have to react to. So to me, that was Brook City combined with let's throw tokens on top of cards, and then on top of it, this whole moving around and teleporting back, and I just couldn't get into it. Super big letdown for me. Yeah, of the 3 games, Brook City is one that I straight up do not like. I don't like it. I wouldn't recommend it to people. I'm just not a fan. I'm sure some people love it. Totally fine. Not for me. So there we have it. My Blacklist games are done. Sadler Brothers, I think you're great. I love the way you design games. I love exploding dice. I'm a dice fiend. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm obviously in the minority because you guys are throwing out giant campaigns constantly. So keep it up. What do we got next here? We got The Few and the Cursed by Rock Manor Games. I think Mike Nade, yes, is the person who designed it. This is another one, recurring theme, guys, girls, everybody. Everybody I'm speaking to. My personal advice: if you pledge for a Kickstarter campaign, right, and then you cancel your order before the campaign ends, you're like, I don't need this, cancel it. Just leave it at that. Don't go back to late pledge. Don't get curious. You see the game hasn't delivered yet, and you can still late pledge. I might as well just do it. I don't want to miss it. Just don't. You didn't want it enough. You thought it was good to just cancel it. Cancel it and let it be. This is another game. It came out. I know nothing about the source material. I don't know about the comics or the books or whatever it's based off of. I think it's comic books. Don't know anything about it. Art style was sweet. There's monsters and cowboys. I think like the whole cowboy thing and Wild West and all that, it feels like it's kind of underrepresented in board games, at least for this type of thing. I don't know of any like Wild West adventure-ish games really. I mean, there's a few, but compared to Cthulhu or zombies or whatever, and I think the West is kind of down there. So this was cool. Backed it, canceled the pledge. Got an email way down the line that late pledges were closing, and I was like, oh man, I should just get it. I don't want to miss out. I did not like this game. I think I played it 3 times. I was iffy on the components, I think. It's been a while. I'm pretty sure I didn't like the boards. My boards that I got were like a little bit, they weren't cut right. It was a little flimsy feeling. Even like the upgraded, like the engraved wooden water tokens and stuff, I don't know, they just felt kind of cheap. I'm big on components. I know gameplay should come first, but I don't know. I'm touching the stuff on the table. I want it to feel good. The components didn't feel good, and the game too, it was a lot of like, the cards are like big on art, and then there's just like the tiny little like icons in the corner for like the stuff that the cards do. Obviously, you can see that on the campaign page, so it's not like I got blindsided or anything. But I don't know. To me, it just felt like this was a bigger. The board was huge. There was just a lot of space being wasted all around the game. I felt like, I don't know. It just didn't do it for me. So I shouldn't have backed it. I shouldn't have late pledged it. Here we are. You can even see I pledged at $1. Yeah. Next one is not a board game, but it's in the same general feel or realm, whatever you want to call it. Instant Colors by Scale 75. I paint miniatures. I'm not good at it. I'm not professional. I'm not even. I'm just a guy that throws some color on minis sometimes in hopes that it looks good. Citadel paints are obviously sweet. They have contrast paints. They're just super expensive, and everything Citadel feels expensive. I think like 3 weeks before the Instant Colors campaign started, I had got just I think it was my birthday or something, and my partner had got me what is it, the scale color, like the fantasy line or whatever. I got those. I was using them. I really liked them. The colors were vibrant. It was nice. I liked the consistency that they came out of the bottle. I was like, man, Scale 75, I like this. This company's good. So here we are, boom, Instant Colors. Basically, like, it seems like their answer to contrast paint from Citadel. First off, marketing's beautiful. I love the look of everything. I'm sold on the box art already. I'm like, oh, dude, I need these paints. I do. I'm spending too much time painting. I have a lot of games. Look at this. These look sweet. Yeah. 10-hour paint job, 30 minutes with Instant Colors. You're telling me I can get skin that looks like that in 30 minutes? I'm sold. I want it. I need this. Boom. What do? I spend a lot of money. That's what I do. Spend a lot of money on instant colors. I got them finally. Contrast paints are better. I bought a couple contrast paints just to test them out. They're better. There's more pigment in them or something. It just looks better. I don't like the instant colors primer. I didn't like that at all. I used it with my airbrush. It was, I just didn't like it. And the colors, to me, they all just look washed out. It doesn't matter how much I put on them. They look washed out. So, lesson here, I don't know. Don't just buy stuff because you bought stuff from the company in the past. Especially this. I don't know. It just, to me, it felt like they cherry-picked stuff to make the paint look better than it is. Again, some people might use it and love it. For me personally, I tried using it for my Cthulhu Death May Die collection, and after a few models, I just switched back to normal paint. It didn't look good enough for the time that I was saving. So, that's that. Instant colors. Next, we got Reich Busters Project Vril from Mythic Games. This is another one. You can see here I did not pledge for this. I pledged, I canceled, I late backed. Late pledge was closed, and I decided, like, no, I need this so bad. I'm going to email them and ask them if they can hook me up with a pledge, which they did. So, like, shout out to Mythic Games. Late pledges have been closed for a while. They were able to get me a copy at the Kickstarter price and everything. That's cool. I should have just let it go. I didn't like the game. Their minis are great. I feel like any Mythic game that I get, the minis are sweet, and then I play the game and I don't like it. Usually the rule books are just a confusing mess. I feel like they're not laid out well. There's a ton of keywords. There's keywords everywhere. Everything's a keyword. So, like, your card says marksman, brawler, precise, something. And they're all bolded. I don't know what any of that means. So now we have to go look it up. All right, and then this enemy has another keyword, and you have to go look it up. It's just I don't like the way their rule books go. This game too, it seemed like it was going to be cool. Like I was going to be like sneaking around, going like Splinter Cell style, sneaking up, getting people. I mean, you kind of do that, but every single thing you do in the game makes you do these freaking noise checks. So you're rolling these dice. So it doesn't matter. Like, I could do this really cool play, and then I roll these dice, and then boom, it sets off the alarms, and then, like, I don't get to have that cool sneaking around fun anymore. Now it's just kind of run and gun. It's chaotic. I get it. I just didn't like how they implemented it. And the characters just didn't feel that different to me either. So I wanted to keep it to paint the minis. I didn't even do that. I sold it. I sold it and I got my money back, and I was fine with that. But I probably won't be back in Mythic Games anymore. I just have like a history of playing their games, and I just don't like how they're set up. So as cool as they look and as much as I love the minis, I think I'm just not a Mythic Games guy. All right, next on the list, we've got Dale of Merchants Collection by Sammy Laxo. This is a game that I love. I think Dale of Merchants, if you've not played Dale of Merchants and you're a fan of card games, a fan of deck building, get Dale of Merchants. I know Board Game Co. had a video out where, he didn't like that you're slam down stalls and try to race to the end. That's kind of the game. I think there's a little bit more combos and stuff you can build off. But yeah, generally you want to try to build your stalls and get your shops up as soon as you can. So it can feel a little samey, but at the same time, it's simple enough to play and get into. The collection, though, just adds too much to the game. It's the same thing that happened to me with King Domino. It's like a super tight, simple game, and you're like, oh man, I need more of this. I need more. I love this. I love what they did with this. I need more. And then I got Queen Domino, and I hated it. It just took like the simplicity, and it dialed it up to 20. And then like it's still the same game. But the reason I liked it before was that it was just so simple, and it becomes not simple. And there's more stuff to track, and it just feels a lot more finicky, and there's more stuff to learn. And it's like at that point, there's other games I'd rather be playing that are more involved. Like the reason I like Dale of Merchants 1, 2, and 3 is that it's simple. It's easy to pick up, it's easy to get out, it's easy to play. Boom, boom, boom. Pick the decks you're playing with, deal it out, guys. Here's how you play. Let's roll. And Collection to me just felt like it added too much stuff that I didn't really want. So again, nothing wrong with the game. Love Dale of Merchants. I'm sure some people love Collection. I'm personally more of a fan though of just the base games without all the added in bonuses. All right, we're down to the last two. Cloudspire by Josh and Adam Carlson, Chip Theory Games. I wanted to like this so much. I mean, if you've ever seen a Chip Theory game on Kickstarter, these guys are geniuses of making games that look amazing. Their art is always sweet. Their worlds are amazing. The world building is on point. Obviously, they're known for their components, which everything's taken up to 1,000. The characters are chips, poker chips. The health is chips. The tiles on the board are made out of neoprene. The cards are this PVC plastic stuff. It's wild. It's over the top. There's these custom molded pegs that you put in the boards. It's amazing. It's sweet, yes. And whatever they put out, I eat it up. I love it. I don't even care what it is. I forget the name of the Burn Cycle or something. The last one they put out. I knew nothing about the game. I saw one teaser picture for it. I was like, done. I need that. So same with this. And I got this. I played it. I don't dislike it. It's just more heavy than I was hoping for. And at the time, my partner that I play games with just wasn't into it. It was too much to manage and keep up with. And at that time, I wasn't really into solo games. So I didn't give a chance to the solo modes. I kind of want to play this again and see if my opinions of it change. If maybe it was just like a bad time in my life to learn this type of a game or pick something like this up. So I've thought about rebuying it, and I know to me rebuying goes along with that Kickstarter thing. If I back a game on Kickstarter and I cancel the pledge, I don't need the late pledge. If I've already owned the game and I've sold the game, I sold it for a reason. I probably shouldn't buy it again. But I don't know. It calls to me. It's kind of like a MOBA-esque game. I have something like 5,000 hours played in Dota 2, League of Legends. I love that stuff. This is cool. So I might go back to it, but I regret backing it. It was an expensive pledge, and I played it one time. I played it one time and I gave up, so shouldn't have backed it. I knew I shouldn't have backed it at the time too, because my gaming partner was like, this doesn't look like a game I want to play. It's too competitive. And I was like, nah, it's Chip Theory Games. We love them. You'll love it. Last game on the list, Unbroken. Created by Artem Safarov, and it's got the infamous, what's their name? Golden Bell Studios. What's going on here? This isn't loading for some reason. There we go. Altema Games, I think, is Artem's little company thing. But yeah, Unbroken. Back to the thing I've said a million times. This is a game that I was going to back. I canceled it and then I late pledged. It's supposed to be a solo game. This is unlike Cloudspire. I had started to try to get into solo games. This was going to be like my entry. And it can't. If you're not familiar with it, go Google Golden Bell Studios Unbroken. That whole thing's just a train wreck. These dudes they weren't delivering the games. They need a bunch more money. This is before all the global crisis stuff's going on. It just seemed like poor planning. The dude was like yelling at people in the comments and like calling people names and like refunding pledges. It was just like a whole mess of stuff. I think there's still people maybe who don't have their game. I know the designer, Artem, well, I'm not a fan of his game here. The dude seems like a really good guy. I know he was paying money out of pocket to make sure everybody got their pledges and everything. And it seemed like he was just kind of in a bad position or got into a bad business deal or whatever. But this game itself, the campaign and the delivery left a sour taste in my mouth, so I could be slightly biased when I got it. It was just a little bit more simple than what I wanted. It felt like most of the time there was like an obvious best move, at least to me. I think I played maybe 5 times, and every time it was, you have an option, do this or do this, and it's like, obviously I want to do this. Yeah, I might lose this, but this is clearly a better option than this, and I can afford to do it. Let me do that. It wasn't very hard. It seemed pretty overly simple, and there wasn't a lot of variety to it. So, personally, this is probably my least favorite Kickstarter game. Golden Bell Studios made it a train wreck with getting the games and stuff, but the game itself, it was just, I just didn't like it. Yeah. I hate saying games aren't good because obviously that's totally subjective, and I know how much work goes into games or anything someone creates, So I hate saying this game's not good because it sounds like I'm saying like this dude spent all this time making something and it's not good. It's not good for me. It's not the kind of game that I want to play. I'm sure there's a lot of people that like it. It's just not what I'm a fan of. But that is that's it. That's the final 10 games that I regret getting from Kickstarter. I've taken it easy on Kickstarter actually a lot since then. I put a lot more thought into what I'm backing. Is it worth it? Is it something I actually want to play? A lot of times now I'll do the thing where you just pledge for $1, and then that kind of lets the campaign cool off and the hype's all gone, and then I can go back and recheck. All right, is this actually a game I want right now? Is this something I want to be playing? Is this something I'm going to need? Back it or don't back it. If you like this video, though, feel free to let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, any way you can to let me know that you liked it. I have a few other ideas of videos similar to this that I might do. There's a list of games that I wish I had backed on Kickstarter that if I had, I would have saved a lot of money from trying to gather all the stuff that I missed because I ended up actually loving the game. Got some videos for some different Board Game Geek features that you might not know about. A bunch of different things that aren't so much showing you board games and stuff on the table, but more me here, maybe with a computer screen, talking to you about stuff in the hobby. So if you like it, let me know. I appreciate you being here and watching it, and thanks so much.